Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the Premier model. It really is a lovely looking car, finished in this wonderful grey metallic. Looks absolutely superb on the car. Just 48,000 miles on this car. Actually, it might be 49. I'll check when we get inside. My memory is appalling, but I will show it anyway. Lights and lenses completely clear and intact. Front bumper very, very clean indeed. Likewise, bonnet, hard to see a stone chip anywhere on there, any type at all. Come down the near side and it is mirror smooth on those panels, no indentations at all there. So it's a bit of a grey day today, which doesn't really help, but hopefully pick up on anything I possibly can. And then around the back of the car, all very clean. Obviously it helps this car has front and rear parking camera sensors rather, as well as the big screen rear parking camera, so all help to keep it nice and clean and tidy, which it is. Again, bumper corners really nice, panels very, very clean down the offside, again driver's side, no indentations that I can see there at all. As I always say, there will be the odd tiny little mark that the camera will miss, but they will be relatively small because there's nothing that immediately jumps out to me at all on there. Coming to the back now, you can see this beautiful interior. It's absolutely stunning. The video doesn't do justice to the colours. It's kind of a light sort of silver trim, sort of white silver. Looks absolutely beautiful and it's in stunning condition. This is not always the case because obviously the back seats of most cars are used fairly heavily, but these have hardly been used at all. So come around to the front now, all very, very clean and tidy. Likewise, footwell areas from the passenger side. The front passenger seat there, obviously electric adjustment because this is a very high spec version of the car. Hardly looks like it's been given any use of any significance. Comes to the driver's door card, again very, very clean and tidy. Electric memory buttons on there. And the driver's seat, the one takes all the way, shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, as I say, I do apologise, it is a particularly gloomy day today. Dashboard not only looks absolutely fantastic, but is in beautiful condition. As you can see there, this is fitted with premium sat-nav on the car. Lovely features on this. If you want to press a button, you can power fold that down if you want to. Or on sunny days where the sun might be a bit low, you can adjust the angle of them. It's really, really very clever indeed. But all working exactly as it should. Dual zone climate control system. Mark Levinson stereo, just looks absolutely wonderful, all checked and working perfectly. Heated seats likewise. We come to the main dashboard binnacle and then you can see 48,000, right first time, 48,089 miles. Aside from a fuel light, there's no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Should you want to put the car into sport mode, you'll do straight away dashboard changes, get a rev counter, a lovely red glow at the top, looks absolutely stunning. Again, the top grade steering wheel fits to the car as well, but it really is a beautiful interior and a quite wonderful car. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual packets here, as are, in this case it has two lock and wheel nut keys. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 hybrid, and it's the Premier model. This particular car is registered RX13XYJ, and mileage currently showing is 48,082 miles. The reason we do these videos is very simple indeed. We basically want anyone that's looking at our cars online in our adverts to actually see that very car in operation. And the reason we think it's important is because we know, unfortunately, to our cost, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the description in the advert, only to get there, drive it and find it's got a fundamental fault which shows up whilst test driving the car. So that's why we do it. Road test is also done on the same road test route as any prospective buyer would go on, and the reason for that is we hope it will be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car in question, been very well looked after. Obviously all of its servicing up until the one we've just done has been done by the Lexus main dealers, so been in good hands all its life, and it feels like it. You press the button to start the car, generally starts silently, and then engine kicks in after a short period of time. all working absolutely perfectly. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The hybrid system is just genius. It really is. It's because ultimately it's just like driving a normal car. To some degree, you just put fuel in it, you drive. There's no charging of batteries, there's no plugging in, nothing like that. You know, the recharging of its battery is done on the move when you hit the brakes, backing off, that kind of thing. So you can never run out of battery. The only thing you can run out of is fuel in the old-fashioned way. But it's the way it works together. It's absolute genius. It's seamless in operation. You put your foot down, it can change between different modes. You wouldn't even know it's happening. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful system. So I'm going to lose the battle with that tractor. He's a lot bigger than me, and that's just the parking sensors beeping away. Proves they work. But yeah, it's just an amazing system. What's lovely on the car, you've got this little dial down here. We're in normal currently. Turn it to the right and it puts you into sport mode. Dashboard's now changed. You've got a red hue over it. It looks absolutely fantastic from a slightly nerdy point of view. Thing you notice straight away, the throttle response of the car changes because it is much keener to get up and go. I love it in this mode. It's absolutely superb. But everything working exactly as intended. Lost my train of thought slightly, but if I haven't had already said this, I apologise, but there are no warning lights on the dashboard. Not that I ever expect to see them on the Lexus, but there we are, it's by the by. Engine then feeds through into the gearbox on these. It's what they call a CVT, constantly variable transmission, and it suits the car perfectly because, you know, the seamless quality of the power delivery is then matched by the automatic gearbox. A conventional gearbox, no matter how good, feels slightly agricultural by comparison to the way these things work. You put your foot down, there is no gear change, there's no step, there's nothing at all. And at slow speeds particularly, it's just so smooth and satisfying in the way the car propels itself. So you put your foot down now, and it's just, you just kind of catch up with the revs of the engine. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and all working perfectly. So coming to the steering of the car, nicely weighted, very accurate and precise as is the modern way. Feels nice in hand, feels really solid and secure on the road. There's no vibrations that come through the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, so all good in that sense. But it's just that it's very nicely done. It makes the car flow, especially with the chassis of the car, because the chassis is set up for that. So if you're enthusiastic about your driving, it rewards in a nice way. It's not hugely sporty in that sense, but it's not designed to be, because it obviously offers, you know, a degree of comfort. This bump here, by the way, just there, which is horrible. If there's any issues with the chassis, any sort of knocking noises, it shows up there, which is why I like to point it out. But there's nothing. It feels absolutely rock solid in that sense, wonderfully so. We should expect with the mileage, obviously. Brakes on the car, absolutely super, by the way. I'm not going to shove them too hard now because I've got someone just directly behind me, but basically they're powerful. There's no vibrations to the brake pedal. There's no pulsing, which would suggest like brake pads distortion, that kind of stuff, or warping, and there's nothing at all. Exactly as it's meant to be. Coming inside, I think I said in one of my last videos, one of these, you know, we've only been selling these to a few months now, and I have to say the first one I bought, I just was sold on the car. Sitting in it, it's just a lovely place to be and sit. It really feels so wonderfully intimate in the way you sit inside the car and the way the dash itself kind of wraps around you. The graphics, the layouts, the switchgear, all absolutely beautifully done, and in fantastic condition in here. This is a very high spec version of the car, so you get the premium sat-nav system with the camera built into it, dual zone climate control system, heated seats. You've got the Mark Levinson stereo on the car, electric adjustable seats, this lovely interior trim which has a really wonderful effect inside the car. It's got, you know, the trimmings, the lighter leather, especially on sort of duller days like today, add a kind of freshness to the interior that you don't get with your darker interiors that can feel much more claustrophobic, and all been kept beautifully, and as you'd expect of Lexus, absolutely beautifully put together. They really, really are masters at building cars. You know, problem with these videos, of course, is I am completely biased. I completely get that. I love them, but I am critical on the car in terms of the mechanics when I'm driving them. And as I said at the start, the point is just to show the car in operation, but to feedback on any issues there might be. Nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. If you've got any questions about the vehicle, don't hesitate, do give us a call.